yesterday, and so that meant the departure of Plipuec, one of two Thais, both seeded in the draw, who fell by the wayside. The other one, perhaps more of a shock, was the third seed Luxika Kumkum, and she was dismissed by Yujichi Chong from Hong Kong. So that was a big upset. Chong coming through a final set tiebreak from a set down. So a tough day for the Thais in the singles in the women's draw. But confirmation there of Sutjiadi's progress in 3 sets past Plipuec 24 hours ago. We are still waiting for Miyu Kato of Japan to arrive here. Hopefully nothing untoward, and she'll be out on the court shortly. But here's a reminder of what Sutjiadi did yesterday. Not afraid to come into the net and finish off. Used the forehand well.
Yeah, it certainly was the strength of her game. Her ball strike from the back of the court. She was aggressive. She really did use that drop shot intelligently well. Really did throw it in at just the right time. And this was match point. This was where she finally got through it. The fans here yesterday were into that one. They were delighted with the victory. Hopefully for them and her fans, she can perhaps deliver another famous win today.
Yes, assuming she has an opponent to face, but we are still waiting for Kato to appear here. But all of the women's round of 16 matches, here we go, Kato coming onto the court, so good to see her appear. And of course she will start as favourite for this. She's ranked way higher than her opponent, Kato, who is currently 172 in the world rankings, up against Sutjiadi, who is presently 635 in the world. But as we saw yesterday, rankings can count for very little when you can perform and compete as Sutjiadi did. So Kato will be aware of the threat that's going to come from the Indonesian number one. We'll let them just prepare themselves here, but just to mention that the other women's round of 16 matches, in fact 7 taking place at the start of the day, and then 1 to be played in a follow-up match on the outside courts. But among those still in contention, top seed Zhang Shui of China. She made comfortable progress through her opening match, as did her compatriot, the second seed Wang Chang. And in fact all the seeds, the 14 seeds who did advance, all did so bar one in straight sets, the exception being Abduramova, who lost an opening set 6-love against Anna Danilina from Kazakhstan, but eventually the Uzbek Abduramova, the 12th seed, advanced love 6-6-2, 6-2. So as I say, 14 of the 16 seeds are through to this stage, but of course the stakes get higher and higher coming in now to this round, with a quarter-final on offer to the winner. But a lovely scene as we see the flag of the Japanese fluttering in the breeze there, but we have in front of this arena and a fairly leafy surround to our left. We've got the trees fluttering in the breeze a bit at the moment. The flags of the nations involved to gather just between the stadium and those trees, and then to our right, looking out to the distance, we can see the lake, the boating lake, where they've got the rowing, the canoeing taking place at this venue. And of course it is a sporting centre, so a centre of absolute excellence. We were on the bus from the hotel this morning with the production crew for the climbers, and we can look round to our right and see the high stands there. That looks pretty daunting, especially the overhang one. I don't think I fancy that.
Barry, yeah, I know you like your hikes, so perhaps you'll be giving that a go later in the week once they're down over there. But yeah, no, it's a great drive through actually, isn't it? Just seeing all the other disciplines here, and the skate park as well. That got a quick glimpse at.
So here we are, players out to talk to the umpire.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and give applause, please. Baik, Ibu hadirin yang kami hormati, berikan tepuk tangan yang paling meriah buat Indonesia dan Jepang.
Well, I think what we know from all that is that the Japanese won the spin of the coin, and they'll start at this end, but whether she will serve, certainly Sutjiadi elected to stay at the end. She is currently. So I would imagine that Kato is going to be serving first, and she'll have the first chance to serve with the sun in her eyes.
Yeah,
presumably is the choice that the Indonesian made, but we will confirm that in due course. So Kato is 23 years of age. Depending on which biog you read, she's either 5'1" or 5'2", but diminutive, I think, is a fair description. However, she's quite a player. She certainly succeeded in the doubles. She's had good runs in that, even in the majors.
Yeah, absolutely. She's had some excellent results this year. Has been solid, just outside the world's top 50 in doubles, and probably more known for her doubles actually. Singles are around the 170 mark, and she's having to find that balance at the moment. Just looking at some of the results this year, playing qualifying for a lot of the big events, but playing the doubles, and it's been a good year. So it's always a tough one for, I think, a player when they're trying to balance the two disciplines, because she still plays a lot of singles, but she doesn't want to go away from that and play the challenges, play on the ITF tour. She wants to still be playing the biggest events out there, and that is in the doubles. So a good chance for her to perhaps win a medal this week in her singles, of course in the doubles, with a pretty much regular teammate from Japan. So I would expect them to do very well in the doubles also.
As for Sutjiadi, she, I think I'm right in saying, still has involvement in the mixed doubles, although I'm searching fast here to try and find her in that. I think I saw her in the draw, and I'm just checking still as I look down the draw in front of me, but I'll confirm that in due course if I can. Anyway, she clearly has a singles game on her that has done really well in her first appearance. Yeah, thank you, Arvin. Just reminded me, she is the 11th seed in the mixed doubles with Runkat, and they are already through to the round of 16 in that event. They had a good straight sets win. They're awaiting the winners of a match above them to decide who they'll face in that next round. And her focus today, of course, on this contest coming up very soon. Well, the Japanese have had success in this event and indeed elsewhere at a senior level, both women's and, of course, men's now, with Kei Nishikori, their leading light. A number of other men that have come up behind him, Sugita, etc. They've done it, or they're doing it. But in the women's side of things, what can they expect of their hopes here, I wonder? The Chinese are the force to be reckoned with in this draw, the top two seeds that they have.
There's been a huge investment in Japanese tennis over the last few years. Bob Brett doing some good work over in Japan, working with the young players, and also the professionals as well, just putting together more structure for them. The National Tennis Centres is just setting the bar a little higher than it once was. And the results are starting to show, which is good.
And Kato is one of the two Japanese seeds still in the draw. The other is Eri Hazumi, the 9th seed, and today she's taking on the leading Indian player who we saw yesterday battling against the Indonesian number 2 Beatrice Gumulia, and Reina proving too strong for Gumulia in that one. Came through in straight sets. So Reina against Hazumi today. That match will be getting underway shortly over on court 4. And certainly the Indonesians who've turned up to watch this have given good support through the matches we've seen so far. And we had of course a big doubles encounter yesterday between the unseeded Japanese pair, one of the pairs in the draw, who took out the Indonesian 6 seeds, and that was a bitter disappointment, it must be said, for the Indonesian duo. But yeah, Gamulia again back on court, was beaten alongside Rompis by Hayashi and Uchijima, who seemed to play with a permanent smile on her face, and did very well with Hayashi to come back from the loss of a first set 6-1 to eventually win on a match tiebreak 11-9. So the two nations have locked horns here already. We'll see how they do so today in this one. And in fact, we will have Japanese representatives in our second match. The match that will follow this will be in the men's doubles. That'll be a round of 16. Ito and Watanuki of Japan against the 9th-seeded Hong Kong pair of Wong and Jung. And that will be followed by another men's doubles round of 16 encounter when we have the Chinese 6 seeds Li and Wu up against Sasha Bublik of Kazakhstan and his partner Denis Yevseyev. So those are the matches we will certainly be featuring over the next few hours here. And pleased to say the warm-up now concluded. We're not far away from the starting action on the third day. And not a wasp in sight.
Yes, wasp
Touching wood.
Yeah, no wasps up here.
I hope our cameramen who've been in charge, who got stung in the course of their duties, are all right today. But, it all seems pretty quiet around here at the moment, so long may that continue. Final preparations, and no doubt plenty of ice in the big buckets to either side of the players, with the drinks as well, but the ice towels, the ice bags that they'll be using. Thankfully, that side of the court in good shade at the moment, but they're about to emerge into the spotlight to get us underway in this third round, the round of 16, to decide who will get through to the quarterfinals. Well, as it proved, it's Sutjiadi who is going to be serving. So the Japanese must have elected to receive first. Spot on. Nice start.
We saw yesterday power really her thing from the back of the court, but that one just stroked away. Gentle acceleration through the ball.
Fairly gentle serve, but Kato failing with the timing.
It's one of her biggest strengths, is her movement around the court. She's very quick, very agile out of the corners. When you're her size, you need to be quick. You don't have the power of the taller players. And the ability to take the ball just a fraction earlier as well. Use the pace of her opponent's balls. When you lack in pace, you can make up in accuracy and earliness of the ball strike.
And again, it's a delight to see that right out of the middle of the racket and finding that corner. So a strong start from Sutjiadi, Dilla as she likes to be called. Studied actually in the US, and like her opponent, 23 years of age. That is some forehand.
She's got quite an extreme grip on that forehand, but she doesn't struggle to flatten it out. Up high there, it's not easy to deal with a ball like that. And that is a major weapon. I wonder if we're going to see the drop shot a fair few times today again. She used it so well yesterday. Kato being so quick and very experienced. Probably done a little bit of homework herself as well. What to expect today. Maybe looking out for that particular shot.
Well, she apologises for catching it cleanly at one point, but off the tape there. But however, this is a nice finish. Right shot back behind, getting the Indonesian off balance. And a clean strike up the other wing. Kato, who has a couple of top 50 wins in her career. The highest ranked player she's ever beaten was Carla Suarez Navarro, when the 25th ranked player in the world. She beat her from a set down in Kuala Lumpur last year. And she also defeated Kristina Pliskova, the Czech, when ranked 44 in the world. Pliskova fell to her in Tokyo last September.
Can be a little intimidating. If you're Sutjiadi, you know your opponent's been a top-class player, top-class doubles player. It's been a good start so far from the Indonesian. No signs of intimidation. And again, it's a heavyweight forehand. Love the movement across to it, cutting the angle and taking it nice and early here. There you go, that diagonal move to the ball.
Already fulfilled her ambition to compete here in these games. And she takes that in her stride. Serve lacking in pace and depth, and it got the full treatment. So well, her ambition was simply to compete in this event. She's competing well, and who knows what she might yet achieve if she can attack Kato like this.
Yeah, it's been the perfect start. Looking very confident here. give her a lot of belief that perhaps could be another upset on the cards.
So we have a bit of hunting going on the court. A bird has just found an insect and gobbled it up and is now taking it away. There we go. And again, onto the line or just inside it.
It's clear to see she's got the heavier weighter shot. She's really found consistency early on here.
Just her second unforced error, but already 6 winners for the Indonesian. Only one from the Japanese. Skimming shot, just catching the tape.
14-15.
Didn't expect this one to go over. Kato just stopping here. Second bounce is right in front of her. Huge misjudgment there.
Could not have got any better for the Indonesian number one so far. 3 games in, she's won the lot. Well, Kato with things to consider here. Never faced Sutjiadi before, and finding the power and the pace, the placement, rather impressive from Dilla. And that's going to certainly test her, so she's got to find some ways to nullify that if she can. Whether she can use her pace and get about and bring some more angles to the rallies they have. Sutjiadi then coming out here on the back of a very good start.
We might have questioned her, how she felt physically today coming out at the beginning of this match, but she's looked very good. She's been striking the ball cleanly. She's been dictating so many of the rallies. The return of service looked good from the Indonesian. Oh, change up there on the slice as well. Completely flummoxed Kato.
What a point played by the Indonesian number one. Kato trying to get some wits in, certainly did in that exchange, but how there Sutjiadi chased that back, brought it back so strongly.
Yeah, wonderful defence. I mean, defending aggressively out the corner there, that's not easy to do.
She's just teeing off again and again, taking the dominant position very quickly inside the baseline.
And the good thing is right now, it looks as if she's playing well within herself as well. That is a great sign. We're not thrashing at any of these ground strokes right now. She's seeing the ball very early.
And again, what hand skills, bringing in that favourite little drop shot to draw Kato forward and then completely beat her with the lob.
Just incredible tennis once again. Great decision there, just to bunt that one nice and deep and just keeping her cool, using the drop shot once again, and wonderful feel there.
She had her beaten, had it come over, I think. Still more break points to come.
Yeah, one player ranked 631 in the world, and you wouldn't think that right now. The roles are reversed. Sutjiadi, 131, continues to play like this over the course of the year. The ranking's certainly going to climb quickly. No ranking points this week though. Just playing for pride in your country and of course the medals.
Shake of the head, disappointed Kato to have left that long. Not quite in the right position as she hit it a bit off balance, and this is adding up very nicely at the moment for Sutjiadi. 4 unanswered games in her favour. So she might be regarded already as a bit of a giant killer here, having knocked out the 10th seed yesterday. An upset brewing again in this one.
Just having to rely on those sort of errors right now, Kato. I think she has to up her aggression levels here. I think she's going to have to look to try and dictate a few more of the rallies if possible. It's too risky, the form that Sutjiadi is in right now. It's too risky just to wait for errors. That's a nice change up on the serve. More of a kicker that time. Getting the ball up nice and high. Lively conditions again today. Oh, she's made it. And again, just flashing the winner from out wide here. Kato in good position, and that was past her in a flash. Didn't expect that.
Half a dozen forehand winners from the Indonesian already. More than a dozen in total. And Kato, meanwhile, making more mistakes and really struggling to have any bearing on this whatsoever. Another game gets away from the Japanese. The fifth seed in a real dilemma here, what to do to try and get going in this match and fight back. But it's Sutjiadi very much in charge at the moment. 5-love up in the first set.
I think it's safe to say right now Sutjiadi in the zone. She's just got to try and continue in this vein. Very aggressive and has made Kato pay for anything that's just lacking in pace, just a little short in the court. Execution has been excellent from the Indonesian.
She's been inspired, hasn't she, by this event in her home country, and the last remaining Indonesian singles player taking it all very well, in fact gobbling up this first set. Going to take some beating today, and Miyu Kato coming out to try and get at least a game in this first set to avoid losing it to love. Sign's not good though on her serve. She has only won 2 points on her first serve out of 10 so far. That's got to change if she's going to have any hope.
Some good length on that particular serve. That is going to have to be the case, the norm for her.
Just one big stride and one big swing to land that again so strongly.
She did have to take a step or so out to her forehand there, but not a problem. Very strong base that she has, very balanced.
Game points for Kato. And a well-placed serve delivers her first game of this match.
Oh, this first set is probably done and dusted. You never know, but she can put some good work in for the beginning of the second set. Just missed a couple of backhands. That one again just a little too high over the net, not enough spin on that one.
Other members of the respective teams at the side of the court watching on, not least Gamulia and Rompis, who were in action here yesterday, seeing how Sutjiadi can go. And a little turn again towards her team members. Clenched fist celebration as she brings up set points. It's a very impressive first set by the Indonesian #1, and causing another upset is very much on the cards here. 6-1, she is leading the 5th seed.
Excuse me. The ball changed? Yeah. Ball change. No. Practice. Sini sini. Bola mana? Set.
Just over half an hour it's taken Sutjiadi to take a commanding 6-1 lead over the 5th seed. For Miyu Kato, a need to improve in all areas really, but to try and handle what Sutjiadi is doing so well, bringing a lot of power and pace and athleticism to this, a lot of confidence in her striking. And starting this new set with new balls after the first 7 games.
This opening game so crucial for Kato, just to get the ball rolling here, just get herself ahead in the score and try and put Sutjiadi under a little bit more pressure, get her thinking out there. Sutjiadi was just kind of in the zone, just autopilot in the opening set. Things going so well. Showed that she was an excellent front runner.
First double full to the day. And another. She's so wary now, isn't she, of the strong returns that will come her way. She's tried to push to the limit but gone too far.
Knifed it in there very low. Kato had nothing to work with there, no angle. It's twice now. He's thrown in this type of slice up the middle of the court.
She's just doing nothing at the moment to hurt the Indonesian. There doesn't seem to be anything that's really putting too much pressure on Sutjiadi. And as you said, the Indonesian very much in the zone and striking the ball really strongly. And she's got another break of the Japanese with that. Good rallying, and it's another mistake from Miyu Kato. So Sutjiadi all over this at the moment. 6-1 and now a break up in the second.
Yeah, as well as Sutjiadi is playing, she is probably playing the best tennis of her short career right now. Kato has been a little all over the place. Too many unforced errors. It's not been putting Sutjiadi under enough pressure there. Just too many easy mistakes. Double faults. Routine backhand missed in that last game. Not going to get away with that.
18 winners to 5. That's how dominant Sutjiadi's been so far.
Footwork letting her down here, reaching for this. She seriously needs to lift the intensity levels. Body language isn't looking good. Got to try and get herself out of this funk right now.
Again, the weight of shot from that cross-court forehand. Hard for Kato to handle. And she makes something of this. Try and create a first break point for her in the contest. You can hear how well as seeing how well Sutjiadi is striking that forehand, and Kato just not timing hers at all well.
Well, the length initially, Sutjiadi was excellent, the serve, and then the follow-up on the second shot. That forehand didn't need to be that deep, going more for power and keeping it low over the net. Got it skidding through. Better from Kato, rallied strongly. And,
didn't allow the Indonesian to open up and dictate.
For once, able to stretch her out on that backhand side there. Much better court position as well. She was moving up inside the baseline. A little bit more proactive there. Better footwork.
Well, she gave her another look, but Kato unable to ping the pass.
A good positive point there from Sutjiadi. After losing that previous point, she stayed aggressive, which is good to see. It was certainly the right time to move forward. Kato a metre behind the baseline.
A no call, a no overall. But I must admit, I thought it looked wide. Let's see, what does that tell us? Yeah.
There's definitely more out than in. Tough break. How's she going to handle that? First real test, you feel, right now.
Well, it might be Kato's way back in here because it's led to a break point for the first time for the Japanese.
I should love that one again. That was a criminal miss, given the situation there. Sutjiadi perhaps just having a slight wobble mentally, being tested after that call that didn't go away. Should never have hit the net there. Got to clear your first target.
Brilliant. Great change direction. Confidence to go for that.
Oh, wow. You've really got to commit to a shot like that. Any sort of hesitation, that is easily missed. Got herself on the front foot.
About that power, but also real precision and touch, the feel on the ball, excellent from the Indonesian, and Kato denied there her attempt to break back. Aldila Sutjiadi still very much on course for a fine win here.
Kept her head there. Remember, a call went against her. It was a backhand cross court that was just wide. She was convinced of it, but kept her cool. Kato, just emotions just starting to boil over as well. You feel very frustrated out there. Yes, nicely done. Good court position up on the baseline there, Kato. Gonna try just to hang with Sutjiadi here, keep it to the single break.
Lacking location, the serve short in the box and then the second shot long.
Yeah, it's been a real effort today just to play a couple of good points in a row for Kato. No real control over that backhand.
Desperate times for the 5th seed. Another break point to face.
She had to watch this one very closely because it was plumb on the line. Sometimes you can be a bit put off waiting for the call, hoping for the call from the lines person. Didn't come, but committed to the forehand.
Look at that. Nothing Kato could do there. Just an exceptional angled forehand winner.
You just don't expect that. You've hit a decent forehand there. If you're Kato, you're in control, and all of a sudden, it just ups the ante.
And it's another break, and the frustration increasing for Kato. Nothing it seems she can do to stop Sutjiadi, just coasting through at the moment. 6-1, 3-love.
Tough right now for Kato to know where to turn, what to do. The game certainly has not been there today. It's been a rough day so far. Been a very good one for Sutjiadi. Has not put a foot wrong. Just tested in that previous service game of hers, that call going against her, and she responded well. She's now got a double break. Always a nice feeling, but you just got to keep pushing on. Almost not focus too much on the score. Just keep ticking off the games. Just taking care of your own serve. Get another break. Another huge bonus.
What a difference a day can make. In her opening match, she did all right, but it's been pretty sloppy today from the Japanese.
She's just looked a little slow at times, laboured in her movement. Don't normally expect that from Kato, normally such a sharp player. She's been around for a long time now, very experienced. Time running out for her.
She dropped only one game in her first match, but here she's managed to win only one so far. For Sutjiadi, the increasing prospect likelihood of a place in the quarterfinals of her home games against either the 16th seed Anitdinova from Kazakhstan or Wang Zhang, the 2nd seed from China. Once again, it's weighty and very accurate into the corner.
And the eagerness to get forward as well, the move forward there, always encouraging, realising that she had really done some damage there with that backhand.
Nice strike from the Japanese finally in that one.
Better length. That is key if your opponent is hitting winners and dominating rallies. You've got to keep them back. You've got to find a good length like that. Sutjiadi on her heels there. Not that time. Sutjiadi has done very well and pushed into that forehand corner. Couldn't find the elevation. It's a great serve. Right on that centre service line, skidded through it. Catching the return very late there.
Again, the pattern of powerful control being followed here by Sutjiadi so well. An incredible performance, really, considering the gulf in ranking between the two.
You would have got steep odds at the beginning of this match. Sutjiadi winning here, but the scoreline as well. Just wanting another ball to choose from. A minimum of 4 balls. I think players nowadays like to have at their disposal.
That's the kind of play you'd expect her to go for, to try and get some angle into this, get Sutjiadi out of her rhythm, but it's just the execution. Under such pressure, she's missing balls that she would deem routine normally. And it just gets walloped like that. I mean, that is something of a milk float, isn't it, that serve? And it just gets the full treatment.
Yeah, it has to be said. I mean, there's nothing really going for that second serve. I mean, lacking in pace, so middle of the box, no real movement. Sutjiadi there on a favoured forehand, slams it home.
Intimidating striking off the returns from the Indonesian, and this one is almost done. This for yet another break.
Good.
More pressure applied from that strong return. And she really has carved up Kato today. Just a game away from knocking her out of the draw and reaching the quarterfinals.
Well, you certainly think this is all but over. And Sutjiadi's just got to keep her focus for another service game here. That's all. At this stage, you're excited. You're going to pull off a victory like this, but you've got to stay in the present. Can't get carried away with things yet. The job is not done yet. Thumbs up. He likes what he's seeing right now.
Kanan lagi Pak. Itu Pak. Ya, tadi Pak 1-2-3 Pak.
She has played a blinder. She has come out here and just stepped all over Kato's game, not allowed her really anything to work with at all. Just the one break point she had to face and saved that. And it's a dismal day for the 5th seed. Now looking to be knocked out of the way here. Sutjiadi does hold again. And again, she puts in the work when she needs to, running out wide to bring that one back, and then Kato obliging with another mistake. And what a contrasting match to yesterday's epic fight that she had with the 10th seed to knock her out in 3 tough sets. This one very much short and sweet. Another unforced error from Kato's racket. There have been way too many of those. And a few winners by comparison with Sutjiadi, who has struck 25 or so winners already and now brings herself to match points. Kato matches her there. Doesn't happen very often, but good work from the Japanese to stay in contention for one more point at least.
Just looking a little bit of subtlety there, not going with the power angle, but just couldn't quite get the spin she was looking for to get that one dipping.
A little tense, trying to close it out.
Just a little nerves maybe kicking in here now. That 40-love lead is quickly whittled away. First real bad unforced error we've seen her make. A couple of deep breaths required here, just get the heart rate down.
For the fourth time then, match point for the unseeded Indonesian #1. The only Indonesian still in singles contention here, be it men's and women's. Sutjiadi storms through to the quarterfinals. That is a stunning performance. And a big upset to knock out the fifth seed so emphatically. 6-1, 6-love in just over an hour. Well done to her.
Well, I must admit, I didn't see that one coming. Kato, the more experienced player, but you could certainly not tell today. Sutjiadi, what a fantastic performance from start to finish there. Just got a little nervous towards the end, but she dealt with those nerves very well. And that is the highest ranked player that she has ever beaten. And to do it at home in front of her own people, what a thrill for her.
No, we wondered if she'd struggled physically after the epic she had yesterday. But it was a breeze, wasn't it? And here are the highlights.
Bukalah matamu, kuatkan hatimu, berikan energi di dalam semangatmu. Tegaklah berdiri, terbanglah kau tinggi. Inilah saatnya namamu bergema. Maknai